If you think blue cheese is daring, or brie is the epitome of pungency, allow me to introduce you to Casu Marzu, the cheese that laughs in the face of refrigeration and takes living food to a literal level. Hailing from the sun-soaked island of Sardinia, this delicacy is not just cheese. It's an ecosystem, a marvel of fermentation, and depending on your perspective, a biological weapon disguised as dairy. Strap in as we explore the history, the science and the sheer audacity of Casu Marzu the cheese with a little extra wiggle. Section 1. A cheese born of necessity. Casu Marzu's origins are as humble as they are fascinating. Sardinia, with its rocky terrain and warm Mediterranean climate, is a land of shepherds. For centuries, these shepherds relied on Pecorino, a sheep's milk cheese, to sustain them through harsh times. But in the pre-refrigeration era, not all cheese aged gracefully. Enter Casu Marzu, an accidental creation born from nature's opportunistic flair. When Pecorino would over-ferment and attract cheese flies, the flies would lay eggs, and the larvae would take residence, kickstarting a secondary fermentation process. Yes, you heard that right. Larvae, aka maggots, turn regular cheese into Casu Marzu. These little wrigglers break down the fats in the cheese, making it softer, creamier. And according to fans, a taste explosion unlike any other. If cheese could have a punk rock attitude, Casu Marzu would be Sid Vicious. Section 2. The fermentation process, or how to grow a cheese pet. Creating Casu Marzu is not a job for the faint-hearted. The process starts with a perfectly good wheel of Pecorino. After it's made, the cheese is left outside where cheese flies are practically invited to a buffet. Once the flies lay their eggs, the real magic or madness begins. The larvae hatch and immediately get to work munching their way through the cheese and breaking down its fats. This enzymatic digestion transforms the texture from crumbly to gooey, creating a cheese so soft it's almost spreadable. The flavour? Bold, intense, and according to its fans, slightly spicy. The texture? Well, that depends on how comfortable you are eating cheese that may still contain squirming maggots. If this process sounds unappetizing, just remember, in Sardinia, this is considered artisanal craftsmanship. Section 3. The cultural significance of Casu Marzu. Casu Marzu isn't just cheese, it's a cultural icon. Sardinians have been making it for centuries, and for many it represents resilience and tradition. It's often served at weddings and celebrations, making it a symbol of hospitality and shared joy. Though one imagines, the more squeamish guests might discreetly pass. For Sardinians, eating Casu Marzu isn't just about taste, it's about embracing the full circle of life. Literally. By consuming it, they honour the land, the sheep, and even the flies that contribute to this unique creation. It's proof that nothing goes to waste when you're creative enough. Or daring enough. Section 4. Why the world can't handle Casu Marzu. Casu Marzu is not for everyone. In fact, it's technically not even legal. The European Union, in its infinite wisdom, declared Casu Marzu unsafe for consumption due to health concerns. Apparently, eating live maggots might cause digestive issues. Who knew? Despite this, Casu Marzu persists in the underground food scene. Sardinians argue that their ancestors have been eating it for centuries without issue. To them, the EU's ban feels like an outsider misunderstanding their way of life. Locals even go as far as to sell it clandestinely, making it the black market cheese of your wildest culinary dreams or nightmares. And here's the kicker. Casu Marzu actually holds the Guinness World Record for being the world's most dangerous cheese. Yes, this cheese is so hardcore, it beat out every other risky dairy product on the planet. Section 5. The experience of eating Casu Marzu. So what's it like to eat Casu Marzu? If you're brave enough to try it, you're in for an adventure. First, there's the smell, intensely pungent with notes of ammonia. Then there's the texture, a creamy spread laced with the occasional crunch. And let's not forget the pièce de résistance, the maggots. Traditionally, Casu Marzu is eaten with Sardinian flatbread and a generous serving of red wine. You might see the larvae wriggling on your plate, but for many, that's part of the thrill. Some people even argue that the cheese tastes better with the maggots intact. Others, understandably, prefer to pick them out. Fun fact, if you see the maggots jumping, that's a sign of freshness. These larvae are known to launch themselves up to 6 inches when disturbed, so eating Casu Marzu can feel like dining in a war zone. Protective eyewear is not a bad idea. Section 6. The science behind the madness. Why does Casu Marzu work? The answer lies in the fascinating interplay between fermentation and decomposition. The larvae's digestive enzymes break down the cheese's fats, creating unique chemical compounds that give it its intense flavour. It's essentially a microscopic chemical lab, with maggots as the technicians. Interestingly, scientists have studied Casu Marzu for its potential health benefits. Some claim it contains probiotics that could support gut health. Of course, that's assuming your gut can handle the idea of live maggots in the first place. Section 7. The science of why some people love it. Let's face it, Casu Marzu isn't just cheese, it's a dare wrapped in dairy. So, what compels some people to not only stomach it, but genuinely love it? The answer lies in the fascinating interplay of psychology, sensory experiences, and cultural conditioning. The thrill of the forbidden. There's something undeniably alluring about eating something that's technically illegal. Casu Marzu's forbidden status adds a layer of excitement that can make the experience feel like an act of culinary rebellion. Psychologists call this the forbidden fruit effect, where the mere fact that something is taboo increases its appeal. For food adventurers, trying Casu Marzu is akin to bungee jumping. Terrifying, exhilarating, and unforgettable. The power of culture and nostalgia. For Sardinians, the love of Casu Marzu often starts at home. Many grow up watching their elders enjoy it, associating the cheese with family gatherings and special occasions. This creates a deep emotional connection. Even the smell, while pungent to outsiders, can trigger fond memories for locals, much like how the scent of baking cookies might remind someone of childhood. In this way, Casu Marzu becomes more than a food. It's a sensory time machine, the flavour adventure. From a purely sensory perspective, Casu Marzu is a flavour bomb. Its intense, umami-packed profile appeals to those who seek bold, challenging tastes. Think about people who relish extremely spicy foods or bitter beers. It's the same principle. The creaminess of the cheese, combined with its sharp, almost spicy tang, creates a complex flavour experience that some describe as deeply satisfying. For enthusiasts, eating Casu Marzu is like attending an opera of tastes. Dramatic, layered, and utterly unique. The psychology of bravery. Eating Casu Marzu is not for the faint of heart, and that's precisely the point. Psychologists suggest that taking on a disgusting food can be a form of bravery, a way to prove one's mettle. Successfully eating something as wild as Casu Marzu provides a rush of accomplishment and even pride. It's why food challenges are so popular. They're not just about taste, but about the story you get to tell afterward, a shared bond of adventure. Finally, there's the social aspect. Eating Casu Marzu often happens in a communal setting, with friends or family cheering each other on. This shared experience of daring to try something so unusual creates a sense of camaraderie and fun. It's not just about the cheese, it's about the shared memory of tackling it together. In the end, the love for Casu Marzu is as much about psychology as it is about taste. It's an edible paradox. Gross yet gourmet, terrifying yet tantalizing. For those who adore it, it's not just food. It's a sensory and emotional adventure that no other cheese can deliver. Section 8. Casu Marzu in popular culture. Casu Marzu has achieved a kind of cult status among adventurous foodies. It's been featured on countless food shows, from Bizarre Foods with Andrew Zimmern to Ripley's Believe It or Not. It's the ultimate litmus test for anyone who claims to have an iron stomach. It's also a hot topic in ethical debates about food safety and tradition. Should we allow a cheese that might pose health risks, or should we preserve it as a cultural treasure? The jury is still out, but one thing's for sure, Casu Marzu sparks conversations like no other cheese. Section 9. The future of Casu Marzu. Despite its controversial status, Casu Marzu is not disappearing anytime soon. In fact, Sardinians are fighting to have it recognised as a protected traditional food under the EU's cultural heritage laws. If successful, this could ensure that Casu Marzu continues to be made for generations to come, maggots and all. In the meantime, curious food lovers continue to seek it out, defying bans and embracing the thrill of tasting something truly unique. Whether you view it as a gastronomic marvel or a stomach-turning horror, there's no denying the allure of Casu Marzu. Conclusion. Casu Marzu isn't just a cheese. It's a test of courage, a symbol of Sardinian pride, and a reminder that food can be as strange as it is delicious. Whether you'd dare to try it or prefer to admire it from afar, Casu Marzu proves that the world of food is full of surprises, some of them still wriggling. So, would you try Casu Marzu? Let us know in the comments, unless of course you've already lost your appetite. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more tales of culinary curiosity. Until next time, remember, when it comes to food, the stranger, the better.